in this anthology. And one of them is called Key to a Crime, and it is taking place in Chester, Virginia, outside of Henricus. For those of you who don't know Henricus, it's where John Rolfe and Pocahontas had their tobacco farm. And it's where they do the interpretation back to the 1600s. The story I'd like to tell you about tonight is called Caged Bird, and it takes place here on East Broad Street, up the road. Up more taller than I am. How's that? Can everyone hear me? Yes. Thank you. It takes place up Broad Street. Sorry, I'm blonde. I don't know which direction, but somewhere up Broad Street at St. John's Church. When I was a very young adult, I bought an 1875 shotgun house that was clinging to the side of Church Hill and in desperate need of restoration. And I had just gotten my degree from Virginia Commonwealth in history, and I thought, what a great way to immerse myself in the richness of Richmond's history and diversity, to live there in Church Hill. And every day of the work week, I would walk down Broad Street to the Valentine Museum, where I worked in public programs. On the weekends, I walked up the street to St. John's, where I moonlighted, and I was working with the people who were reinterpreting Patrick Henry's famous speech, "Give me liberty or give me death." And I was also attending services there. One of the things that I loved about St. John's Church was they didn't put their graveyard off to the side with the tombstones lined up in nice neat rows like words on a typewritten page. Instead, it was as if they gathered the graves up and tossed them in the air like so much congratulatory rice at a wedding, and they just landed hither and yon, here and there, this way and that, everywhere. So on services on Sunday, when the doors burst open and the children ran out, they could run right into the graveyard and play hide and seek and tag, and the adults would go to the open spaces to have conversation. For me, it was as if the younger generation and the older generation, the generation from the deep past, were still in community. And for me, this was a great deal of serenity and peace being behind the wrought iron gates at St. John's. So I thought, as a suspense writer, how could I explode that? How could I make it horrible? And how could I jar that sense of peace? So I placed my character by Liza Poe's grave. He was definitely in the wrong place at the wrong time, with the wrong smoking gun still in his hand when the police arrived to find the dead body at his feet. I wondered, how would this character be impacted? And how would it impact the generation before and the generation after? And could I tie it in somehow to one of the generations of the distant past who lived in the graveyard? And that was how I started my story, and I hope that you like the way it ends. Thank you so much for your support.